the first thing, you got to change if you want to start succeeding, and that's not just with internet marketing, but with anything in life. And a lot of these things you're gonna probably say, man, Frank, I've already heard some of this stuff. But if you haven't started applying what you've heard, then it's not doing you any good, right? So one of the first things you need to learn that you got to start changing is your thinking. And what I want to tell you about this is, like, when I first got started, I kept on doubting myself and kept on thinking, this isn't going to work for me. I don't know if I can do it. I've never done this before. It's hard for me. I'm not a salesperson. I don't know how to put up web pages. I don't know how to do any of that stuff. People aren't going to like me. So I needed to quickly start learning that I needed to change what I was thinking, what was going through my mind. Because if you don't change how you think, you're not going to be able to change the direction of your life. Because if you think about what you've been going through, say, for the last 5-10 years, if you want things to get better, let's say things have gotten a little bit better the last couple of years, but you want them to be 10, 50, 100 times better than they are right now. Well, you got to elevate your thinking and change, your vision, and think bigger and start thinking in a more positive way instead of always doubting yourself and doubting that you can ever get out of the rut that you're in. I'm not saying that every one of you watching is in a rut, but what I am saying is, if we want to get better, if we want to propel ourselves further ahead in life, we got to start believing it first inside before we can do anything on the outside. And so, like, when I first got started online, I was a warehouse worker. I picked parts, I delivered stuff, I loaded trucks, I did shipping and receiving, did forklift driving, and then I was also a purchaser, did purchasing stuff on the inside, in an office. I never, could imagine I'd be, helping people online and making, 6 figures and bringing in money just by sending out an email. I never thought I'd be helping different people start their own websites and teaching them what to do. So, for the longest, I had this messed up thinking, like, I couldn't do it because, I didn't graduate college. I dropped out of my first year of college, and there was many times when I was, doubting myself, and I didn't believe that, it was possible for me. But I got around people in the beginning, before I even got started in internet marketing. I joined an MLM company. Believe it or not, it's still around. And those people that were making, big money, $1 million a month, $200,000 a month, etc. They thought totally different, and they instilled something in me. And in my uplines at the time, got to know me, and they spoke words into me that started helping me believe that, hey, I was just as special as they were, and I could do it. So what I'm just saying here is, with your thinking, if you're constantly putting yourself down, if you're constantly complaining about your situation, if you're talking to people and you find yourself telling people how bad you got it, if you constantly find yourself talking to people about how many bills you got and how you don't make enough money and your job sucks and blah blah blah, you really got to think about how you're thinking and start changing what is going through your mind. Because if you don't change that, then nothing's really going to change for you. There's a saying that says, a man's thoughts are, a man's life is what his thoughts make of it, right? You become what you think about all day long. I forgot who said that, Earl Nightingale, I believe. And it's totally true. You have to change what you're thinking about if you want to change your future. If you're constantly thinking about the bad things that are going on in your life and all the obstacles you got to overcome, guess what? We all have obstacles. We all have problems. You got to start thinking in a more positive way and say, hey, guess what? This is here just for a little while, but I'm going bigger and better. I'm going to dream bigger. I'm going to help more people. I'm going to make a difference in people's lives so I can help my family and sow good seeds and make it to where I'm so successful that people are going to be attracted to me. And so I'm just going to become even more successful by helping more and more people. If you're thinking small, that, hey, I just want to make $500, in the next 30 days so I can buy myself a new TV, well, that kind of thinking, that kind of short-term thinking isn't going to get you very far. Start thinking bigger. Start thinking, that you can help a lot of people. Start thinking that you have what it takes. We all have what it takes. You know why? We're all the same. I'm not better than nobody on this call. I'm not better than anybody, but I do know that I'm better than I used to be. Okay, we all have something inside of us that we can share with the world. We all have talents, and if we sit on those talents and don't do anything with them, then we're just doing a disservice to us, to everyone else, and to God. Okay, so you really got to start looking at how you're thinking, and see what's affecting your thinking. What around you is making you think negative all the time? What around you is making you, have this self-doubt? What around you is affecting you to where you're always putting yourself down, or if you're always stopping, like, oh, I can never do that. I can never, write that sales letter, or I can never, call those leads, or I can never invite those people over to watch this DVD, or I could never, get on YouTube and talk to people online. Guess what? I was thinking about this YouTube thing for like a week and a half or 2 weeks, and this morning when I woke up, I said, I'm going to send out an email, and I'm just going to put it out there. It took 20 minutes, wrote the email, put up a page literally in 10 minutes, and got it done. And guess what? Now I'm here, and I forced myself to be here, because there was a brief moment for, a couple times where I was thinking, nah, I don't have enough experience yet to do this. I'm not thin enough, I'm not good looking enough, whatever. There was a couple times where I had these stupid thoughts that I shouldn't be doing this for whatever reason. And guess what? I'm just as good as you and just as good as anybody else. And so that's why I'm here. I put out that email to make it happen, because if I hadn't put that email out, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't have forced myself. So I got out of my comfort zone, because if I knew if I didn't do that, I wouldn't have gotten it done. And here we are today. I don't even know how many people are on this, because I'm looking just at my PowerPoint. I don't know how many people are on right now. I'll check in just a second. But the first thing you got to change if you want to start having success online is your thinking. If you find yourself doubting yourself, if you find yourself putting yourself down, if you find yourself thinking about how many problems you have and about how many bills you have, start thinking about what you do have that's good. You got your health, you got your life, you can see, you can hear, you can type, you can go out to the car, you can see your children, you can play with your kids, you can see your grandkids. Start being thankful for what you do have instead of focusing on the junk that you don't want. Because if you keep focusing on what you don't want, life is going to keep putting it right in front of your face, and you're going to keep getting all the junk that you don't want. Start thanking God and thanking, if you don't, you don't want to talk about God, hey, whatever. Start thanking the world. Start thanking the universe. Start thanking whoever it is you want to thank for what you have, and don't focus on all the things you don't have and all the obstacles you got to overcome. Start, thanking life in general in advance for what you're going to do, okay? Now, let's go to the next slide here. Let me see. Let's see. Previous slide. Let's see here. Thank you. Yeah. Oh. Okay. Your words. Now, see, you don't have to be a pro to be doing stuff on the internet, okay? The next thing you got to do is change your words, okay? I was talking about your thinking. Now, your words is the stuff that comes out of your mouth, right? Now, there's a saying that goes, life and death lies in the power of the tongue, okay? I'm not going to get all pastor on you, but you got to watch what you say. You got to watch how you talk. If you're constantly complaining to your wife or to your spouse about the bills and about, oh, so-and-so, he thinks he's all, badass because he's got all this money, or look at so-and-so, they're driving a new BMW, boy, they're just all caught up in sin or whatever. You got to watch how you're talking, because if you don't change your words, you're just going to keep yourself in that bubble that you've been living in and that you can't get out of for the last 2, 5, 10, 15 years. If you want to get better, if you want to succeed, like when I was first getting started, I was constantly complaining. I was constantly verbally putting myself down, verbally complaining about the boss, verbally getting caught up in gossip, where I worked, and talking about so-and-so and the people on the other side of the building, and they're so stupid, blah, blah, blah. And this was back in 2004, 2005, before I got into internet marketing. And then I started getting around these people in MLM and these leaders. They were 6-figure earners and 7-figure earners, and they talked totally different. Man, they would breathe life into you when they talked to you. And I started realizing, hey, I need to change how I'm thinking and how I'm talking. So I still catch myself today and try to flip it around and say, hey, I got to change how I'm talking. You cannot succeed and you cannot blow it up real big online and improve your situation if you're constantly verbally actually, saying the words, not just thinking them, but saying the words, condemning your situation. You can't improve your situation if you're constantly, complaining to the world and complaining to the universe about what's going on. Instead, look for the solutions and think, how can I make things better? Constantly, walk around and say, thank you for what you have. Thank you for, for this desk that I have. Thank you for this internet. Thank you for the computer. Talk to your children and your family and breathe life into them. Say something to them that's going to make them smile. Everybody walks around, wanting others to make them feel special. And think about that. When you talk to your family and your friends, say something to them, impart something into them that's going to make them smile and make them say, man, my mom or my dad or my brother, man, they believe in me. That's going to do something for them. And maybe they're going through a hard time that you don't know about, and you might make their day. So your words are very powerful. You got to watch what you're saying. You got to watch not only what you're thinking, but how, what you say. What is constantly coming out your mouth? Are you constantly complaining to your neighbors and to your family about, your job that sucks? Are you constantly complaining to them about all these bills you got? Most of the bills you have are because of the stuff that you did, right? We have to take responsibility for our own actions, right? So all the bills we have, and we're complaining about them. Guess what? We spent money on things we probably didn't need, and now we have all these credit card bills. I've been there. I started making six figures since 2007, but believe it or not, for the first three and a half years after that, all that money, I spent it all. You know what I mean? I didn't start putting money away. I sure did learn how to start making money. But boy, did I spend a lot of it the first couple of years when I first started online. So your words, you got to really think about what you're saying, and maybe ask people that are around you that see you often and say, hey, can you tell me what I constantly talk about? And tell them to be honest. Ask them, can you please be honest with me? And just take an inventory of what you're saying. If you're saying a bunch of negative stuff or a bunch of hateful things, you really got to change, because if you want to, take your business and your life beyond what it is now, you got to start with just simple things like this, like your words. Okay, so let me go over to the screen here, and can you guys, let's see, make a comment if things are going good and if you can see the screen right now. Because when I look at it, it looks kind of weird, because it's like I'm looking into my screen that's looking into my screen. So if you can see the screen, just let me know. And if everything's making sense, let me know, okay? Alright, so here we go. I'm going to go back to the screen share here. And let's see here. Like I said, this is my first time doing this. So as I keep doing them, we're going to get better, okay? Alright, so here we go. So now we're going to go to the next slide. There's not a lot of slides here, but I just wanted to go with these to get started, because so many people they buy these things online. They buy these things from the WSOs and from ClickSure and ClickBank, and no one tells you to just get your mind and your words and everything else right. So that's what I'm here to do. No matter where you are in your business, if you made less than $300,000 in a year, then hey, guess what? I think I'm qualified to help you. Okay, if you're already making $1 million or more every month or a year, guess what? I might still be able to help you. Guess what? Because I learn from people that make less than me. Why? Because there's some things they know that I don't. There's some things I know that they don't, and vice versa. So this next thing that I have in the slide is your environment. You got to really start thinking about your environment. When I got started online, back when I first joined the MLM, the company was called Ameriplan, by the way. I joined that in 2005. Before 2005, I was working in a warehouse. I was partying. I was drinking it up. I was partying Thursday through Sunday. I was working paycheck to paycheck. I was working just to make enough money so I could go party it up, spend it on booze and chase women. And back then, what I thought about all the time, back in my early 20s, was was women, right? I got really good at thinking about women, so I got really good at, picking up women. I had a thing with the ladies, and I was really, really good at hanging out and, dating a lot of women or whatever, because that's where my focus was. I wasn't focused on my future. I wasn't thinking that, hey, maybe I should start trying to get around people that are going to help me and lift me up, and instead of just get around people that are going to do the same thing as me and just party, 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 party. So it wasn't that the people I was hanging out with were bad, but it was just that we all wanted the same thing. We all wanted to work. We all wanted to hang out, go drink, go get drunk, and just party, have a good time, go dancing and whatever, and go to after parties, etc. So my environment back then, before getting started with this whole home business industry, was just partying, just working, going to work after sleeping only 2 or 3 hours, going to work hungover, doing my work 80%, 90%, not ever giving it 100%, and just hoping and that the day would go by as quickly as possible, and wishing for Friday to get here as soon as possible. So once Friday came, I get my check, go get ready, go, cut my hair, iron my pants, get ready, go sleep for a couple hours, get up and go out and party. And because of that environment, because it wasn't that my friends were bad, but it was just we all wanted the same thing. We all wanted people to like us. We all wanted to hang out. We wanted to dance. We wanted to drink and just have a good time. Well, I kept hanging around those kind of people, so I kept myself from moving forward, and I kept myself from actually having success or knowing any kind of success, because I never knew anybody that spoke really positive or really big. I didn't know anybody with big dreams or big goals before the home-based business industry. I just knew people that wanted to work towards the weekend, that were just living paycheck to paycheck. All they wanted was a paycheck, and they wanted to go home. I didn't know or talk to or hang around anybody that talked about putting money to the side, saving 10%. I didn't talk to people that said, hey, what are you doing about your future? Have you written down your goals? At the time, I'd be like, what are you talking about? So this environment of people that I hung out with affected me in a way, and it's not their fault, it's my own fault, but I'm just saying the people that I put myself around kept me focused on the short term, kept me focused on today and worrying about the weekend. So because of that, I ended up with 2 DWIs. Believe it or not, I got 2 driving while intoxicated before I got started in the home-based business, in the home-based industry. Why? Because I constantly did things I shouldn't have been doing by drinking and going out and partying. And to this day, I think about it, and I'm really just glad that, things changed and my life turned around to where my eyes got open, because, if I hadn't stopped, I'd probably be dead or locked up in prison, because in Texas, I'm from Texas, 3 strikes and you're out. If you get your 3rd DWI, guess what? You're done. You go to prison, okay? I got 2. I was 1 away. And luckily, I got it started in that home-based company. I started learning that I should start dreaming bigger, start having bigger dreams, bigger goals. I got around people that thought, highly of me and thought highly of the people that were in the company. They spoke positive words into my life, and I started realizing that I needed to change. I started realizing that for things to change, I had to change. So I started learning that I had to change my environment. So I started hanging out with my friends less and less. Now, like I said, there's nothing wrong with those friends. A lot of those friends I still know today, and they've matured and they've gotten better as well, right? Because, it just sometimes takes something to make us realize we have to change. So I started moving away from those friends, hanging out with them less and less. The next thing you know, here we come, late 2005. I meet my girlfriend at the time on MySpace. She's my wife now. We started talking more and more and more. We started phoning each other. She joined the MLM company I was in. Next thing you know, I moved to Chicago at the time, negative $300 something in my bank account. My credit score was a little over 400. I moved up to Chicago with 2 suitcases, literally nothing to offer my girlfriend at the time, except she just liked the big dreams that I had gathered from that home-based company. So I started getting these big dreams and having these big aspirations. She liked that. She wanted that as well. So here I am moving to Chicago, don't have nothing to offer her. I get to Chicago. I'm trying to work the business. I'm trying to, build the company that I'm in. And, she's working at the time. I keep trying it. And months are going by. And next thing you know, I got to realize, hey, I got to start working, right? Because this ain't working. And I'm here. I started feeling like I was mooching off my girlfriend at the time. Long story short, I started working full-time in downtown Chicago. Next thing you know, we moved out of the city of Chicago to the suburbs, and I kept on working. Then I got a job closer to where we're living in the suburbs, and I'm still doing the MLM. Then I moved from MLM into internet marketing. So in late 2006, I started learning about internet marketing and affiliate marketing. I quit the MLM companies that I was in, started learning about internet marketing, and next thing you know, that was late 2006. By September of 2007, I had started earning enough money to where I could quit my job, and my wife was working in downtown, had a really good job at the time, and she actually quit her job as well because I started making more than what she was making in her job, and I've been working for myself ever since then. But it all started because I changed my environment. I got away from the people that were just keeping me, like I said, it wasn't their fault, it was my fault. But I changed the environment. I stopped hanging out with the folks that were I would just go drinking with and go partying with. I stopped hanging out with the folks that were all about, the short-term goals. They were all about what are we going to do for fun. They weren't ever talking about what are you going to do to succeed? How are you going to change other people's lives? How are you going to become a millionaire? How are you going to become successful so that you can pass down wealth and abundance to your family when you pass away? None of that kind of stuff. So I moved away from that environment, changed who I hung out with, and started just hanging out with people up here in Chicago at the time, with the people in the MLM company. And then I got out of that, and then I started with internet marketing, and then I started hanging out with other marketers online and talking with them through email and stuff who were already successful. I started following successful people. I went to a couple marketing seminars, and things started changing for me. And like I said, late 2006, I started learning about internet marketing. September 2007, got myself fired on purpose, and I've been working for myself ever since then. So your environment is very important. I know I've been going at it like crazy. I'm not reading from a script or anything. I'm just going off of what I remember. So your environment is really important. Are you around family and friends that they look at you when you're on the internet and they laugh or they give you a hard time, like, why are you always on there? All that stuff's a bunch of scams, right? Those are all Ponzi schemes. I don't know why you're wasting your time, or you tell them you're going to be a millionaire and they look at you like you're crazy, right? And they laugh. I've had people, when I tell them, hey, I'm going to become a millionaire one day, and they laugh, say, well, I'm going to win the lottery. Let's see who's going to, win first. So, and they laugh at me, my dreams, when I say I'm going to become a millionaire, and yet they think their idea of winning the lottery is going to happen more, and it's more likely than me becoming a millionaire. I'm like, no way, that's totally crazy. So, your environment has a lot to do with your success. If you're around people that just spend money all the time, they're constantly buying junk, buying stuff they don't need. They're going to Walmart 3 or 4 times a week. They're spending $100, $150, $200 a trip to Walmart. They're buying these cars, and yet they're renting. They buy a brand new car, yet they're renting their house, or they have an apartment that they're renting and they're buying a big screen TV. If you have that type of environment, you're around those kind of people, you can never break out of that bubble. You can never explode your business and jump into higher goals if you keep yourself around the people that are keeping you down, right? It's like that metaphor of a bucket of crabs, right? As soon as that one crab starts trying to get out, guess what? All those other crabs are trying to snap at his feet to pull him back in. A lot of these people, it's sad to say, our family, they think they know what's best for us. So when they see us trying to get at a level different than them, they think they're helping us by, giving us advice to keep us, at their level. They think, by protecting us from those evil people online and from those scammers online, that they're going to be safe because you'll now be with them and they'll always have you. but that's not how you can succeed. It's sad to say, but a lot of us have friends and family that don't have the same kind of aspirations and dreams we have. You know, they think short term. They think about just right now. They think about, hey, as long as we got food on the table today, we're good. Hey, as long as we're just getting by, that's okay. Hey, we're getting by. That's cool. No, you want to grow bigger. You want to expand. You want to be able to impart your message into other people. You want to help others. You want to grow your business. You want to have enough to where you can travel every 6 weeks, right? You want to have enough to where if something tragic happens in your family, you can buy plane tickets for everybody to fly to that state wherever your family member had the problem or whatever, right? We want to have that kind of money, not because we want to succeed, because we want to have that security in the bank so that if something big happens, something tragic, or somebody needs help in your family that you love, guess what? Here's the money, and you don't even have to worry about them paying you back. That's what we want. We want that security of being able to, you know, pay for our kids' college and not worry about them trying to struggle and come up with ideas to get grants and scholarships and all that. We want that dream of, hey, guess what? How much is your tuition this month? Write the check, and it's good, right? That's what we want to do, right? So your environment, if it's keeping you down, if the people you're hanging out with are just worrying about partying, or all they do is go play poker every night after work, and they stay out at the bar playing poker every night or a couple nights a week, and that's good enough for them, and they watch TV 3 or 4 hours a day, and they look at you all crazy when they see you studying or doing things online. Guess what? You got to think really hard of how you're going to change that environment, how you're going to get out from being surrounded by those people that are holding you down. Now, I'm not saying, you know, divorce your wife or divorce your husband, but maybe get them involved in what you're doing. Get them to an event. Get them to something, you know, eye-opening that's going to help spark something inside of them so they can get the same desire that you have. Because when I got started in MLM, I went to an event by Danny Johnson. A lot of you watching this probably know of who she is. I've followed her ever since. She put something inside of me, man, that nobody could ever take away. Ever since I went to her event in the early beginning of 2005, nothing has been able to stop me. I've stayed focused, and I've never thought I was going to quit at this game. Why? Because she instilled something in me that put this white burning desire, this white heat in me that's helped me never stop. No matter what my friends, no matter what the negative people around me have said, I've maintained this focus on just getting better, getting better, getting better. I always think every day, what can I do to get better? And it's because of this desire that got planted in me. If you have someone that you dearly love and they're your spouse or something, and they totally don't believe in what you're doing, you got to get them involved somehow to where they can start feeling it, they can start believing just like you do. Because if you're constantly trying to move forward and they're constantly wah, 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 in your ear, just being negative and being draining, then it's going to be very hard for you to you know, move forward. You know, it's going to be very hard. So that's what I want to say about your environment. You got to think, if you're hanging out with young guys that just want to go party and hang out and go chase women and whatever, and you're 20-something years old, and that's all they want to do, well, guess what? Do you want to start having success now so that you can really just blow up and just become this, you know, famous person that's helping thousands of people? Or do you want to keep making the $500 a month with your little list that you got going and still go hang out with your buddies? You decide, right? Your environment is very important. You got to really take a step back and look at who is around you and think, are they affecting you in a positive way, or are they infecting you in a negative way? So let me click out of this this PowerPoint, and let me see by comments if you guys have been following along, and if you can see the PowerPoint slide that says your environment. I just want to see how things are moving along, okay? Let's see. Can you see everything going right now, guys? Can you see the slide that says, let's see, your environment? I just want to see if things were following along here. If you could make a comment there, that'd be great. Let's see here. Yes. Okay, great. Now I'm getting back on. Okay. All right, so here we are. Now I'm back to the slide. Now, another thing you got to do is write down your goals, right? People, uh, believe it or not, I didn't start doing this until recently. Believe it, like in the beginning when I first got started, I wrote them down when I first got started, and then I don't know, I started making a little bit of money, and I stopped doing it. And then I look back at the money that I was making, and it looks like each year I was making a little bit more, but nothing really explosive. A couple, 20, 30, 40, 50 grand more extra every year. But I think this is one of the main reasons, because I didn't write down my goals. And your goals can be, you can chunk them down in different categories. Write down your super huge, big, hairy goals. Like, I want to make $25 million a year, and I want to be able to take, a vacation every fourth week, of every month. And I want to be on stage with the Dalai Lama and, Robert Kiyosaki or whatever, right? Big goals. It doesn't mean it's not going to happen, but just write down the big ones, right? The really big ones. You want to be able to donate $100,000 a month to your favorite charity. Just stuff like that. Write them down, put them on paper, and then put the other goals, like I want to hit $50,000 a month within the next 12 months. And then from there, you want to say, I want to bring in 500 subscribers per day within the next 6 weeks or within the next 6 months, whatever it is, whatever the goal is, you want, write it down. I want to make 30 to 40 sales a day with my, sales funnel. Anything like, write it down. Put your thoughts on paper, because we can't plan anything in our mind. If you're not putting it down on paper, it's really hard for you to see where you're at in your business. So write down your goals, and no matter how big and hairy and huge they are, write them down, because just by that act of writing them down, you're bringing yourself closer to what you want to attain, right? So if you're thinking of everything in your mind and you don't put it down on paper, how are you going to kind of gauge where you're at or how far you've come if you can't look back in your journal and say, wow, last year at this time I wrote that I wanted to be making this much money per year. And then you can look back every couple weeks and say, man, I already did this, I did that. That builds your self-esteem. You feel more excited. You feel better about yourself, which is going to help you stay more focused and do more stuff and get out of your comfort zone even more, which is going to do nothing but help you. The more times you take action and get yourself in front of your prospects and in front of the people that you want to get business from, the quicker you're going to succeed, right? So start by writing down your goals. I know a lot of you might be saying, man, this is simple. This is stuff I already know. Well, guess what? It may not be, you might not need it, but someone else that's watching this might need it. Okay, so I'm really trying to help those that are getting started. Most of the people that I've surveyed before have been online 6 months to a year to 2 years. Most of them have made $0. They half of them have a hosting account. Half of them have an Aweber account. Most of them have 0 subscribers. Most of them have made diddly squat, and most of them have been buying 5 to 10 products a month, spending $50 to $200, $300 a month. So if this is you, start writing down your goals, no matter how silly you think they are. If you don't want your spouse or so-and-so to find them, write them down in your notebook and put it in your drawer. But guess what? Pull it out every day. Pull it out every day to remind yourself of what you're doing this for, right? And in these goals, you want to put your why. Now, most of you have always heard this. Most of you have started online, or you started, a network marketing company or something. They tell you, write down your why. I really believe this is important. You need to write down why you're doing this. If you're single, have no kids, have no, nobody that lives with you, you're just, a bachelor guy, you're just partying, hanging out, your why is going to be totally different than the 45-year-old guy with 4 kids and a wife and 2 grandbabies. Though your why is going to be totally different, I can guarantee you. If you're a single mom with two children, your why is going to be different. Everyone's why is going to be different. If you don't know why you're doing this, then it's going to be hard to keep you focused when people talk down at you, when people tell you you're nuts, when people tell you you're crazy for being online all day. Why don't you go outside? Why don't you come with us to the bar? Come on, let's go play some bingo. Come on, let's go over here and go to the Goodwill today. They got some sales. They got some specials. Whatever. You know, if you don't write down your goals and your why, you're never going to be able to stay focused on the dream and achieving what you want in life. Okay, so start by writing down what you want to achieve. And guess what? I was so stubborn to this for the longest time, and just recently I started writing down even more goals than before. Because why? I want to be able to look back and see what I wanted and then see how far I've come. Okay, so that's another tip. Please write down your goals if you want to start having success. Okay, because it's really going to help you stay focused and gauge where you are and where you're going and how far you've come. Okay, so let's see. Let's go to the next slide. There's not many left. Like I said, you don't got to be a pro to make money. Copy success. What I mean by that is start following people that you like, that you trust, that you really admire, and listen to their audios. You know, turn off Honey Boo Boo. You know, turn off all these reality shows, Cake Boss, and all this other crap, and spend an extra hour and a half listening to audios from Brian Tracy, Jim Rohn. Watch videos from Danny Johnson. Tony Robbins. Go watch a Frank Kern video on influence. Go do something that's going to help you, increase your awareness and become better at what you want to achieve, right? You want to copy success. You want to model what other successful people are doing. I constantly, like when I take my kids to school and stuff, they're little, right? They're in the kindergarten and pre-K. Here lately, what I've been doing is I can my Bluetooth on my phone can play audio through the car. And believe it or not, I make them sit through different stuff on YouTube before I take off and drive. I'll listen to Brian Tracy or Jim Rohn or stuff like that while I take them to school. And it's funny because here lately I put it on, and my little ones, they're 6 and 5, they're totally quiet. And they're just listening to what Jim Rohn is saying. Next thing you know, they laughed at a joke he made, and it just makes me chuckle because they're actually paying attention to what Jim Rohn is saying through YouTube, which is playing through the speakers in my car. So you want to copy success and see what other people are doing, and why try to reinvent the wheel? Instead, just see what the successful people are doing that you like, that you want to be like, and follow them. Look at what they're doing, not exactly what they are telling you to do, but instead look at what they're doing and try to mimic what they're doing. Follow what they're doing, not exactly what they're teaching you. Because if you look what they're doing, sometimes they forget to teach what they're actually doing. Like this Google Hangout thing, I got this idea from my buddy Jason Fladlin. I was on a Google Hangout he did like 2-3 weeks ago. He partnered up with this other guy. I forgot his name. Other guy, I'm really, really sorry. I can't think of your name right now. But I really like your videos. But they gave me the idea to do this. So I'm copying success. Why? Because Jason Fladlin and his partner Will Matos have generated more than, I think, $5 million in the last 12 months alone. I'm copying success. I'm going to copy them. Why? Because my little $30,000-$40,000 a month isn't nothing compared to what they're pulling in. So guess what? I want to copy those that are successful. I want to keep growing. So that's what you got to do. You got to copy those that are successful and stop copying the people that are, around you locally and physically that are keeping you down. Okay? Now, I'm not saying be rude and be, like you're better than anybody else. No, we're not better than anyone. Okay? But our goal is to become better than what we used to be. Okay? That's all I'm saying. I'm not better than anybody on this call. We all have fallen short, right? All I'm saying is you personally try to be better than you used to be, okay? And copy those that are successful who you want to be like, who do things that you want to do someday, okay? So that's just another tip right there. And let's go to the next one. I'm on a roll here. The next thing right here on the slide is stick with one thing, okay? What I mean by that is, if you buy a WSO on, a SEO product, and then 3 days from now you buy a WSO on how to get viral traffic from Facebook, and then 3 or 4 days later you buy a WSO on how to make money with PLR, and then on Tuesday you buy a WSO about how to get offline clients, well, guess what you're doing? You got shiny object syndrome. You know, you're going from one thing to the next. Here's the tip: stick with one thing and get really good at that one thing. Find those people that are successful in that area and stick with it. Like my thing is list building and, you know, solo ad traffic and membership sites and advertising and stuff like that, right? And how to, you know, monetize your sales funnels and stuff like that. That's my thing. So if you want to get really good at SEO and stuff like that, then go follow an SEO expert. I'm not an SEO expert. I've gotten ranked on page 1 of Google for certain stuff, not because I'm an expert, but because I outsourced the work and I got a ton of backlinks. Hey, I don't even know if that works anymore with all these Google, you know, Google Panda and all this Penguin and Whale and whatever other changes they've made. I don't know. So like I said earlier, copy success, stick with one thing, decide on what you want to be good at, and say, man, there's tons of people that are millionaires in the whole, you know, make money online niche. If that's the way you want to go, great. If you know, find a lot of people that you really like and enjoy and you admire in the self-help niche, then go after that. Go for what you want to go after, but stick with it. So if you want to build your list and make money from email marketing, then just stick with that. So if you're good at getting traffic from solo ads, once you got that down packed, guess what? Sure, you can get other traffic methods, like you can, you know, learn how to get other traffic from different sources like banner ads and media buys and co-registration and stuff like that. But get really good at the solo ads, or get really good at the safe list solo ads, or get really good at one thing, so that once you got that down and you got some money coming in, you got some constant activity, then you can go learn about something else instead of going from one thing to the next. Okay. Now I've been at it for a long time. I don't even know how much time has gone by. Can you guys see the screen, and are you still able to follow along? Like I said, this is the first time, and just say, yep, I see you, Frank, or just say, yes, we're following along, something like that. All right, cool. All right, so let's get back to the screen here. Screen share. Oh, there I am. Let's go to the screen share, and I think I got one more, and that's it. Okay, guys, go from there. Write down your daily tasks. Now, I've been making six figures since September 2007, and can you believe 2008, 2009, 2010, and probably even 2011, I was making a big boo-boo and I was not writing down the daily things that I needed to do. I recommend that every night you make a self-assessment of what you need to do the next day and write down the biggest, ugliest, hairiest things that are very uncomfortable for you. Write them down first and make it a point to get rid of the ugly things and the things that are pain in the butt for you. Get rid of those first. Why? Because if you attack the ones that aren't so fun, or if you attack the ones that are the ones that you've been procrastinating on the longest, once you get that one out of the way, man, you're going to feel so good because you finally got it behind you. You're going to feel that much more accomplished. And when I say write down the biggest, hairiest, ugliest ones, really think about your business and think about in what areas of your business, what are the things that are going to make you money? What's going to get you results? What's going to actually, you know, bring you forward in your business? Not about checking email or not about, you know, putting, you know, a 27th follow-up in your follow-up series, or putting follow-up number 28 and 29 in your follow-up series. No, what's going to make you the most money? Maybe doing a webinar, maybe recording a sales video for the product that you've had on your, you know, hard drive for the last 3 weeks. You already put the product together, you made the videos, etc., and you just got to knock out that sales video. Well, guess what? Make it a point to write it down and get it knocked out, right? Like today, I was going to do this hangout. I woke up this morning and I said, I'm going to do it, right? And I told you earlier, I sent out the email. I put myself out there. I got out of my comfort zone, and here we are right now. I don't even know how many people are on this. It might be just 2 people, but hey, if I can help at least one person, if it's just me and Bob out there, hey, I've done my job, right? So write down your daily tasks. So like I have this coaching program that I'm coming out with soon. I outsourced some follow-up emails, I got 7 of them coming probably in the next couple days, and I paid $25 per follow-up email. If you guys want to know who I got them from, I'll let you know. So that's one of my, to do on my coaching program, okay? And another thing is I have written down edit the coaching thank you page. So what I mean by edit the coaching thank you page, I have it written down on my to-do list, is I need to put in the opt-in form and a quick welcome video letting them know what to do next and blah, 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 right? And another thing is update my authorized.net account. I just got a new merchant account for a product that I'm relaunching with my buddy John Cornetta. So I have to go in there and update some, some details that nobody's going to see, but that it's important to the flow of our, split test new squeeze page. Write it down, because if you don't write it down, you might forget, right? So next thing you know, you sit down, you find yourself at your computer, clicking through your emails, and you're clicking this, you're deleting this, you're deleting that. Oh, what's so-and-so say? Oh, let me see. Oh, wow, that's pretty cool. Next thing you know, an hour and a half, 2 hours went by, and you just spent 2 hours wasting time, and instead you could have gotten those 2 or 3 things that you wrote down the night before done, and instead you wasted time by, checking your email first, and, clicking on through and laughing at so-and-so's email that they just sent you, and man, I can't believe that marketer sent me that swipe. And man, look at this guy, they're really doing great. And look at this guy, they're so stupid with all their hype and blah, blah, blah. No, instead you could have woke up, came to your office, and said, hey, I got 1, 2, and 3 things to do today. Boom, you get them done. You're so much farther ahead. Now, if you want to, if you really feel like you don't have to attack anything else for the day, and the kids are taken care of, they're with the sitter, or they're at school or something, and now you can sit down and you can goof off and make fun of other marketers and make fun of Frank and his goofy Google Hangout and stuff like that, right? But if you don't write down your daily tasks of what you got to do, then you're going to be kind of lost, and you're not going to know what to do next, and you just kind of like float around, and your email box is going to determine what you do for the day, and you don't want that to happen. You want to have a clear plan of what you need to do for the day so you can get in, get out, feel accomplished, feel good, and then go spend time with your family, then come back later when everybody's sleeping and do whatever else you need to do. Write down your list for the next day, and you're just going to get so much further ahead. Next thing you know, a couple weeks go by, and you now have done what used to take you 2 or 3 months, and instead it took you a week or 10 days or whatever. Why? Because you're writing down your daily tasks. Now, again, a lot of you guys on this Google Hangout might be like, you know what, Frank, that's old news. I already know how to do all that. Hey, that's great, but there's somebody out there that doesn't know about this kind of stuff and that hasn't made a dime yet, and they need to be hearing this, right? So those are the things that I have. Those are the things that I have for you guys. And let's see if I can go there. All right. Okay. So can you guys see me right now? I'm now looking at the screen right now. I don't know if you can see me. Let me hit play, and I'm gonna mute my screen. Can you guys see me here? I don't know if you can see me on the screen or not. These comments coming in. Okay. Right now, if you haven't shared this on Facebook, etc., the recording will be here. Yeah, you can see me. Okay. All right. All right. Just making sure. Like I said, this is the first time I've been. I'm doing this with more than just me and one other person. I actually did one with my friend John McNeil the other day, and I'm going to be having more of these in the future with gurus and people that are good at certain things. I'm going to bring them on and interview them and share it with everybody. So I hope you guys, did you like the stuff that I went over? I see a lot of you guys that are on there. A lot of you guys are already successful. The comments are kind of slow. Did this help you a little bit? Were you able to maybe get something out of it that might apply to you? I mean, there's some things that I hear over and over and over again, but I don't know what, man, that 50th time that I heard it, boy, I just realized I should be doing that. And then my wife's like, dude, you've always, you told me that before. I'm like, yeah, I know, but for some reason it just sunk in for the first time, right? So here's the deal. I hope you enjoyed this. I got something for you, and this isn't for everybody. I got something for you. For those of you that are just getting started, I'm about to start a coaching program. It's a 12-month coaching program. I'm going to help the new people getting started with a fast start. If you already have some success, I'm actually going to get you started quickly on building your list, and you're actually going to have your own funnel right when you get started with the coaching program. I'm going to charge $97 a month for the coaching program for 12 months. But what the cool thing is everyone that is in the coaching program is going to get 50% commissions paid residually on anyone they refer. So if they refer 2 people, their coaching is paid for. Okay, a lot of these people that do these coaching programs, they only pay their JV guys, that brought the people in on the webinar. But in my case, I'm going to reward the coaching students, the people that are part of the community, the people that are on the Frank Salinas team. I'm going to help you guys. You're going to get 50% commission residually on the coaching program. It's going to be $97 a month. It's going to be ready here in the next week or so or less. But what I'm going to do for those of you on here right now, there's about 40 of you guys. If you're not making any money online, if you've been online for a year, 2 years, if you're spending $50 to $100, $200, $300 a month or more, and you're not doing much, you haven't started making any money, then this is for you. If you're already making $5,000, $10,000, $20,000, then this isn't for you. If you haven't broken through yet, if you haven't made your first $10,000 month, if you haven't made your first $8,000 a month or your first $15,000 a month, if you're not even making $500 a month at all, or you haven't made your first dollar, this is for you. And this is what I have. I usually charge $97 a month for this coaching program. This is what I'm going to roll out soon. Every coaching student is going to get 50% commission of anyone they refer. I'm going to have an automated webinar that's going to be playing on the thank you page and stuff like that. You're going to get a funnel. If you've never had a squeeze page, you have your own funnel, and then I'm going to have extra funnels every week. I'm going to put out another one. We're going to go over ad tracking, ad swaps, solo ads, simple ad copy. We're going to go over conversions, buying traffic from different places. We're going to go over how to set up a membership site. We're going to go over how to profit from PLR. We're going to go over all sorts of stuff. But the main thing we're going to do when you first get started is get you on a fast track so that you can start making money right away and start building a residual income. A lot of people are online and they're selling solo ads, but they don't have anything residual coming in. And so they're in the Skype rooms, they're on the Word form. Oh, I got a solo ad, and they make $5,000, $10,000 in 1 month, and then next thing you know, some of their solo ad clients, they don't want traffic from them no more. They've moved on to other people, or for whatever reason, those people don't got money. So next thing you know, their income is like this, right? So what you want in the beginning, and this is a takeaway too, look for affiliate programs or for your own products. Create products that are going to give you residual income so that you can start building that monthly income, right? If you're promoting like a home business thing, like some kind of network marketing thing, make sure they pay money residually so you can plug that in on your back end for whatever it is you're doing and start building that residual income. So what I'm going to offer the people that are watching, if this is you or not. If you're already making $10,000, $15,000, you don't need this, all right? This is for the new people that aren't making any money, that haven't made the first $500, they haven't made the first $1,000. They're not making $5,000 a month. They're not making hardly anything. If you're making, say, $15,000 or less, I can help you, right? Big time. If you're already making big money, then don't worry. This is for the new people. I charge $97 a month for my coaching, 50% commissions. But right here and now, I'm going to give you the opportunity to go to JV with Frank and sign up for the coaching. You're only going to pay $197 one time. And you 40 guys that are watching right now, you have the opportunity. I'm only taking 30 people, $197 to get you in the coaching program. Within the next 7 days or less, we're going to start rolling it out and start doing weekly webinars. And I'm going to put you in a private Skype group. I'm going to just over-deliver. You're going to get all my products that I have right now. You can start getting 50% residual commission on the $97 a month. You pay $197 right now. You won't have to pay ever again, and you're in the coaching program. If you go there to JV with Frank, make your purchase, you're not going to get redirected anywhere. I'm going to contact you at your PayPal email address and tell you the details of what to do next, okay? And I'll contact you in the next 24 hours. So if you go there, click on jvwithfrank.com, jvwithfrank.com, click it, pay $197. You don't have to pay the rest of the fee ever. And I think I put it on the page. It's right here. You'll save $967. All the other coaching students are going to pay $97 a month. The good thing is they'll get paid 50% commission on anyone they bring in. But you're going to save 83% if you get started right now by going to JV with Frank. You pay $197 one time. You're in the program, and we'll get started by Thursday coming up. And I'll get in touch with you within the next 24 hours on what you need to do next. But you get in now for $197. You secure your spot, and then we're going to start rocking and rolling. We're going to start doing it, and I want to help you get to $5,000, $10,000 a month or more soon, quickly on the Fast Start. This is a 12-month coaching program, but we're going to get you started on the Fast Start your first week or 2 weeks, so you can start making money now, and then everything else we're going to go over it, so you get better and better and better and start building your income. Okay, so that's it. That's all I got.